is. So we would write something in this case along the lines of unfortunately, I have a very urgent matter that I must attend to. You see, and I'm just gonna make this part up. So we'll say that my cousin has fallen ill and is in the hospital. As you can understand, he is in need of support from my family. Okay, just moving this down a bit. So what we've done basically is here we've outlined in the first paragraph, we said why we're writing. Now in the second paragraph, we've outlined the basic problem. And the problem is that we will not be able to return the library books on time. Okay, so at this point we want to link the idea that we will not be able to return our books on time. And we want to be polite about this and to show that we feel bad that this is happening. So we might use a word like regretfully. I will not be able to return my books to you. And I'm going to say that our plane trip, it leaves today. I'm just making this up, but I'm going to say that we're leaving today, so it's not possible. So regretfully, I will not be able to return my books to you as my plane departs today. Today. And I will not have enough time to make a trip to you. Okay, so that's the end of the second paragraph. Now the second paragraph has basically given the details of the problem. So it's basically said that the basic problem is that we will not be able to return our books, and we've answered why. Why? Because our cousin is not well. Okay, so in the third paragraph, now in this third paragraph we want to state what we want basically out of this letter. We're making a request, and that's the purpose of this exercise. And that's the basic request comes in the third paragraph. Okay, so the first thing we might want to say is that we understand that there is a fine, and then after that maybe we can talk about not having the fine imposed on us. So the first sentence would be something like, I understand that this situation makes me eligible to receive a fine. Okay, this sentence is saying that that we know that our books are late. We know we're going to receive a fine And just a reminder, a fine is a punishment where we have to pay money. We have to pay money. So I understand this situation makes me eligible to receive a fine. Now, we basically, in this next part, we want to be friendly and persuade the reader of this letter to not give us a fine, basically, to say that, you know, our situation is very important and it's an emergency, and that if we don't receive a fine, then that's not necessarily the end of the world. So, I understand that this situation makes me eligible to receive a fine. However, I would greatly appreciate it if you would waive this fine on the grounds that my circumstances are very I don't want to say critical, very important. So basically, I understand that the situation makes me eligible to receive a fine. However, I would greatly appreciate it if you would waive this fine, and maybe waive, that might be a new word. Waive means, it doesn't mean cancel, but it means to not employ or not use. Okay? So I would greatly appreciate it if you would waive this fine on the grounds that my circumstances are very important. And I'm just going to edit this. I don't like this word important. We're going to change that to are very urgent. Very urgent. Okay. So however, I would greatly appreciate it if you would waive this fine on the grounds that my circumstances are very urgent. Now, if you're writing this letter for an IELTS exam, now you want to ensure that your letter is 150 words at a minimum. So I can tell by looking at this letter that we're probably up around 110, maybe 120. So we want to put a little extra information in here. And one way that we can do that is by even making up, you know, some information. I mean, as long as it fits with what our topic is. So here, let's say that I trust that this will not that this will be possible, as I have been a irregular borrower in the past, as I have always I trust that this will be possible, as I have consistently, there we go, as I have consistently returned my books on time in the past. Sorry, I had a bit of writer's block there. Okay. Okay. Now, so once again, from the beginning of this last paragraph, I understand that this situation makes me eligible to receive a fine. However, I would greatly appreciate it if you would waive this fine on the grounds that my circumstances are very urgent. I trust that this will be possible, as I have consistently returned my books on time in the past. Now this last part here, or I have consistently returned my books on time in the past, in a way we're just trying to subtly point out that we've been we've been pretty good borrowers in the past, and this is the first time that an issue like this has come up. Okay, now we want to probably sign off with a